Before you listen to this was a video that was posted by Very Dark Man. But before you listen to it, I want you to understand what you're about to hear. The voice in this recording is Precious Chidera Okafor, who says she's the daughter of Pastor Chris Okafor. In this audio, she shares her personal account of why she left her father's house in 2020 and the experience she says she went through while living there as a teenager. This is not a third-party story, and it is not a rumor being passed around. This is her own testimony, in her own words, describing events she says happened when she was between 14 and 15 years old. The details are sensitive, disturbing, and difficult to listen to, but they are important to hear. As you listen, keep an open mind. This video is not about attacking religion or the church, but about listening to someone who says they were harmed and deciding as a society how seriously we take allegations like this, especially when they involve power, authority, and a child. Now let's listen carefully.
My name is Precious Chidera Okafor. I'm the daughter of Prophet Dr. Chris Okafor. I used to live with him years ago, and I left around 2020. Yes, I left around 2020 because things were about to get out of hand. While I was living in the house, amongst all my siblings, I'm the only one from my mother, while the four of them are from a different mom. While I was living in the house, I used to get treated unfairly. Like, it was very, very visible, and even the workers in the house could see it. And one evening, he called me to his room that he wanted to speak to me. And after I went in, he was, standing behind the door, and then he locked the door and he said I should sit down. And I sat on his bed and he started speaking to me. He started telling me that he knows that I always feel bad because of how he treats me differently from my siblings, but he's only doing that because he loves me, and he wishes that fathers could marry their daughters, that he would have gotten married to me. And that was when he started to touch me all over my body. And in that moment, I was sitting very still and frozen because I could not really understand what was going on. And that was how we continued. On different occasions, he would call me. Like, another time he called me and then he locked the door again, and then he started trying to kiss me all over on my lips and all over my body. And it felt like I was quiet for a long time because for me, as at that time, I was somebody that was so desperately seeking the validation of my father. I was alone in the house. I didn't have any siblings of my own. So the fact that he was, talking to me, at least, like, for me, all I was thinking about at that time was, okay, if this is going to at least make my dad talk to me, if this is going to make him treat me equally and fairly, then okay. And there was a day I had a terrible dream, and as a man of God that he is, I went to meet him so we would pray together. And that was the night that he almost penetrated me, but it didn't happen. I think he saw how scared I was and how I was sweaty and shaky on the bed. So he said I could leave, and I left. And that was when I was able to use a teacher's phone in school, and I decided to tell my mom about all that was going on. Then the next week or a few days after, she came to get me from the house, and that was how I left.
How old were you then?
I was about 14, 15 years old at that time.
Wow. So when you told your mom, what did she do about it?
She cried so much, and she was serving at that time. She was I think she was in the northern state, so she had to come back, like, she had to calm down. And mind you, I don't know if I should put this out there, but he also forcefully had his way with my mom when she was 15. That was how she was pregnant. That was how she got pregnant.
You raped your mom? You were born out of rape?
Yes, out of wedlock, yes.
Wow.
When she was just 15, she used to attend this church and she was in the choir. So that was how he knew her, and that was how he raped her.
So who pays your school fees? Like, who pays your school fees, saw you through school?
Presently, everything has been my mom. Since I left his house, I haven't spoken to him. He hasn't reached out. He tried to reach out once. He called me one evening, but he wasn't saying anything. Basically, he was sounding so prideful and asking me why I also did not reach out to him. That the phone works both ways, and the conversation did not lead anywhere. It was just that one call in the whole of 5 years, and that happened in the beginning of this year. That was when he tried to call me.
Does your mom try to go to him and take money from him for your upkeep or for your school fees?
Never. The only time she did that was when I was still with her, before I fully moved in into my father's house. When I was with her, and she would go to meet him that, oh, she wants to pay my school fees, she wants to do this for me. And she opened up to me last year that that the reason why she's so bitter towards my father is because he treated her like an object. Like, all the times that she would come to the house to come and ask for school fees or ask for anything, he would try to have his way with her. Other times, I don't know. I don't want to say what I'm not sure of. I don't know if she agrees, because she never said that, but she told me every single time she would go to try and get my school fees, he's always trying to have his way with her, and he's always forceful about it.
So anytime she goes to ask him for your upkeep, he tries to sleep with her, and sometimes he tries to even rape her.
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
And while living in the house, countless times, even as a child, I did not really understand it. But growing up, I saw how that rejection made me feel. There are countless times he would take I and my sister Marachi to go and run DNA tests. And even if he runs the test and he sees that we are his children, he still tells people and just like says it that we are not his children for some reason. And I don't really know what his reason is. Tells everybody that, I'm not his child.
Wow. How old are you now?
I'm 20.
Okay. Anyways, we'll keep in touch. We'll keep in touch,
All right,
okay?
thank you.
All right. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Now, Pastor Okafor, if you listen to this call that I had with this girl, now this call was on the 22nd of December at around 7:05 p.m. was when we had this call. Now, listen to it properly. What you are trying to use as a defense and as a damage control, the DNA test, that these are not his kids, he has been using it since against these kids. They have gone to do several DNA tests and he's their father, right?
Now that we've listened to this, bear in mind that this is another daughter. I know we've posted a short clip of a semi-confession from a daughter of Pastor Chris Okafor. This is a completely different one. That one's story has not been fully released, and trust me, I like what Very Dark Man is doing right now, because I think being silent is going to like cover up the abuser if these allegations are true. So people need to come forward and actually say these things. We need to know these people for who they are and take it up by law if it requires that. Honestly, listening to this whole thing is very disturbing, and I want people to pause for a moment and really process what was being said here. This is not about social media fights anymore. It's not about the church. It's not about Doris or Gala. And it's not about who hates who. This is a very serious allegation coming from someone who says she was a child at the time, also a product of forcing himself on someone, that's the pastor. Like, he forced himself on the mother, and now he wants to do the same to the child if the allegations are true. This is crazy. Whether you believe her or not, one thing is clear. A 14 or 15-year-old girl should never be in a situation where a grown man talk more of a pastor and a supposed father figure locks the door, touches her, or speaks to her in that kind of way. That alone is wrong. No justification, no explanation can explain this away. And this thing about the DNA tests, let's even put that aside for a second. Whether she's his biological child or not, she was living under his roof, calling him father, seeing him as authority. He was supposed to be a protector regardless of whether she was his child or not. This is gross abuse of power, and that is what people need to understand. Another thing Nigerians need to stop doing is silencing victims because of titles. I've seen it all over social media. He's a pastor, he's a prophet, he's a man of God, this is the devil coming, he's a celebrity, all their plans will not work. That is bullshit. None of these things should make allegations like this disappear. There needs to be an investigation into these accusations. This is coming from multiple women now, and I'm beginning to think multiple people cannot gang up against you and be saying the same thing. If anything, they should be taken more seriously because of the influence of the person involved. At the end of the day, this is not a court. This is not a judgment. But stories like this remind us why conversations about abuse, manipulation, and accountability, even in religious spaces, are important. And if there is truth here, then justice should not be avoided just because someone is a pastor. But anyway, let me know what you think about all this. Just let me know your thoughts. I do not think this needs to be covered up at all. This needs to come out. In fact, there's an urgent need for this to be investigated. This is becoming way too much. Let me know your thoughts anyway in the comment section.